Hello, welcome. Gotcha. Jump scare. Welcome to a deck profile. Welcome back, my fellow One Piecers. Welcome to the card game. Today, as I was saying last week, I'm gonna show off my Rosinante deck for One Piece. Finally, we're back to One Piece stuff. Well, we never really left, but we're done with Magic, so we're switching over to One Piece. In the future, we might do more Magic stuff. I don't know what I want to do for Magic beyond the decks I've already shown off because, well, those are the only decks I own. I'm currently transitioning out of Magic, so we're probably just gonna switch over completely to One Piece stuff. Magic, unfortunately, we're gonna have to send off to the pasture, and I don't know. I want to say maybe I'll do some pack openings, but I don't want to buy boxes. Boxes for One Piece or boxes for Magic stuff is very expensive. Anywho. Before I get too off topic, how's your day been? How you guys been doing? Hope you've had a good week. Good to see you guys again. This Wednesday, we played some, what was it, Dome Keeper? It was a good time. Was it Dome Keeper? I don't remember. I completely forgot what games I play. No, it was Cult of the Lamb. That's right. We came back to Cult of the Lamb. We went crawling back to our old reliable. Even though I said I was gonna hang it up and never do it again, I decided to do it again. Big deal. So what? Anywho, what can we do? What can we talk about? I don't know. There's not a whole lot to talk about. It's just one of those weeks, you know? It's just, well, it feels like every week is one of those weeks. Nothing changes and time keeps moving forward. Am I right, fellas? Can I get a hoo-ah? Yeah, I guess we'll just get to the, as you can tell, this is not the typical One Piece deck I usually have. This is actually one of my deconstructed commander decks, like one of the deck boxes I had for an old commander deck, and now I'm just repurposing it for a One Piece deck box. It's kind of too big, but you know, it is what it is. At least it's a nice presentation for the deck. I don't normally keep it in, well, I do keep it in here, but I plan on switching this deck box over to a much more compact one. But I might as well just show you what's in it, because like there's like dice in here you haven't seen yet, so that could be fun. So anyways, this is the Gamegenic something and whatnot. I forget what this thing is called. As you can hear, there's some dice in there. I'm shaking everything around. So we'll check them out. I don't recommend buying these boxes for One Piece decks, because again, like, as you can tell, I have these double sleeves, so it's a little more justifiable. But even being double sleeved and having the hard case, it's still like about a finger's worth of space in there. So I don't really recommend these. These are definitely made for commander decks or anything that has a 100 card singleton or something along those lines. And since I got you here, we can look at my dice. These are actually really nice dice. I believe I got these for Christmas or my birthday. My brother got them for me. This one in particular is actually a really cool one. We'll take a quick look. Where's the 20? There it is. In case you didn't know, well, let's see if I can actually get the set symbol to show. Hello? Can we look at the set symbol, please? There you go. Look at that. This is a spin down from the Kaldheim Magic set. Back when they did, well, no, they're still doing bundles, but this was a dice for the bundle set, so it's really cool. I love this dice. This is probably one of my favorite. I don't know of very many that look as cool as this one. This one's pretty nice. The only thing that sucks is that all this really nice painting is painted. Well, it's literally paint, so you scratch off the paint very easily with this. Like, I'm trying to see like what's a great example. Like, I mean, even the set symbol, you can kind of see is already getting kind of like worse for wear. And I don't use this as a normal dice. It's usually just a counter, so it just sits there and spins down for me. So I don't know why it's already so scratched up. Unlike these bad boys. Yeah. A little dice ASMR. These, oh, getting a little too zealous there. Again, we've run into another situation where I don't know what the brand of these dice are. If they're not Kraken, I usually don't know the brand. But these are super cool. They're heavy. I think they're brass. I'm not 100% sure. They're definitely metal. That much I can promise you is that they're metal, but I was looking for the set symbol, or I was looking for the logo, and I do appreciate that they don't put their logo on their dice. However, it makes it a lot harder to remember who made these. But there's the D20 if you're interested in it. Actually, I'll just grab them all and bring them up to the camera. Whoa. So you can get a good look at them. Whoa. There you go. Ta-da! Yeah. So yeah, those are just... I don't use dice for One Piece stuff, but, you know, since they're there, I might as well just show them off. Get a little more content, a little more time on the stream while I show you my stuff. There you go. And then, of course... Oh, also, oh, dang it, I should have organized the deck. Would you guys mind if I started organizing the deck? Also, I need to, like... even though I don't have, like, a super reflective thing going on, like, you can see me, but it's not that bad. So... this is a disaster. I forgot to organize the deck. My bad. So maybe I'll just quickly do that off camera. Oh geez. Okay, don't worry, I can do this quick. I've done this so many times. Hey, you know what's gonna suck more is that after this I'm gonna then just reorganize, or I'm gonna mess them up again immediately. Oh god. How do I do this? Wah. I'm unprepared. I've shot myself in the foot, guys. This is it. It's over. It's over, guys. Anywho, if you couldn't tell, today we're talking about Rosinante. I can talk a little bit about Rosinante as a character. Rosinante came from, well, he didn't come from Dressrosa. He originally came from a Marie Joie store. This is lore stuff. This is stuff you'll learn from the manga and anime. And he came from Marie Joie. He's the brother of Doflamingo, which is why his last name is his last name is Don Quixote. Don Quixote is the last name of the Quixote family, who is celestial dragons, if you didn't know. And also, if you don't know, celestial dragons, they're kind of dicks, except Don Quixote's family. For some reason, just Doflamingo was a dick. Everyone else in that family was pretty chill. Like Rosinante's pretty chill. His dad was chill. His mother was chill. Unfortunately, she died. Shocker. And well, actually, they all died. I mean, all the mother and father both died. One by sickness, the other by the hands of Doflamingo. So Doflamingo's not my favorite character. What's also fucked up is that he took the head of his father to the Celestial Dragons to try to get himself back in. And keep in mind, he also wasn't trying to get his brother in. He was just trying to get himself in. Unbelievably selfish older brother. Or I don't know what the age is between the two. I think they're about the same age. They might be, like, I don't think they're twins. But I believe that I think they're around the same age. I would assume Rosinante might be younger. He kind of gives off like younger brother vibes when compared to Doflamingo. I don't know. I mean, honestly, at this point in the current story, it doesn't matter what their ages are, unfortunately. So that's correct. Very sad though, what happened, because they both are traumatized because of how the commoners, how the normal people who live in the One Piece world treated them, because of course celestial dragons are dicks. So, you know, unfortunately they were, you know, ridiculed and persecuted and all kinds of stuff. Like while, you know, torturing and being an asshole to people is not justifiable, in their eyes it was justifiable, or at least in Doflamingo's eyes it was justifiable. What else can I talk about? I guess we'll talk about just Rosinante himself. After his brother killed his dad in front of him, I forget exactly how they meet, but I know Sengoku adopts Rosinante. Rosinante joins the Marines, and then I believe he joins Sword, which Sword is a branch of the military, and well, a branch of the Navy that are like quote unquote retired Marines. However, you don't really retire in the Marines. You kind of just continue to work. And even if you go AWOL, you don't technically go AWOL. You just join the Sword Foundation. And then you're put onto more dangerous missions, more covert missions, because like your allegiance has already been shaken. You know, you're basically out the door anyway. So when you join Sword, it's sort of like, okay, well, you know, it sucks, but we're gonna just, you know, we're still gonna use you. But yeah, you can quote unquote leave, but we're still gonna use you. And that's kind of what the idea of Sword. I believe that's the idea of Sword, and that's the organization that Sengoku runs alongside the Seven Warlords. So Rosinante goes undercover into his brother's mob family, essentially. And then oh man, I'm literally going through the whole like flashback. I don't want to do the entire flashback, but later on they recruit Law into it. Like Law joins the Doflamingo family. Then Rosinante takes a liking to him, wants to help him, wants to raise him, or to some extent, right? And then hang on, I'm still looking at cards, still trying to organize. Don't mind me. Eventually we get to a point where, you know, the only way to save Law is to give him a very, very valuable fruit that Doflamingo's been looking for years. Spoilers, he gets his hands on it. Well, they find where the fruit is, then Rosinante goes and steals it, and then gives it to Law, of course. Then later on, they have to report it to the Navy, and then, of course, they report it to the wrong person, so Rosinante gets found out, Doflamingo has to take him out, and then Law has to live basically on his own. I believe that's how it goes, but yeah. Gosh, this is all from the top of my head, by the way. I literally, like, as you can tell, I'm not a very I'm not a very organized person. I'm just like shooting from the hip right now, trying to give you a backstory of this character that I'm running and trying to justify why I'm using him. He's an amazing, this was, I believe, I don't think it's Oda's first attempt at this, but this was my favorite type of story. No, it definitely wasn't his first attempt. My favorite types of story in One Piece are like the hopeless romantics. Well, not hopeless romantics, but like the doomed characters. The characters, you know, I've like Logan, the movie Logan is one of my favorite movies in cinema. And it kind of harpens back to like, you know, like this character is dying, but you know, he's not dying. He's not dying in vain. And it's out of love he's dying. He's done something better with his life. And you know, his will lives on. We saw that with Chopper and Hero I believe. Dr. Hero was the adopted father of Chopper. That was when we first saw this type of story being told, and then we've seen it again with Rosinante, and then now we're seeing it currently with Kumo. And Kumo is probably the best example of this kind of story where, you know, it's doomed to love. It's hopeless, not hopeless. I don't want to say, I don't know why I keep saying hopeless romantic, because they're not in love. It's hopeless because they die. That's what makes it hopeless. And it's very sad, you know. Obviously these characters that love the people they're with have to leave, and it's very sad to see them leave, but you know, they're leaving on very good terms, you know, protecting the ones they love the most. So you gotta commend them for that. And I really, realistically, I've been waiting to make this deck, mostly because I've been waiting for Kumo to come out, but instead of getting Kumo, we got Bonnie. And I was like, okay, well, if we're not gonna get Kumo, at the very least I can build Rosinante. That was kind of my compromise, is like, well, if I can't build this character, I'm gonna build Rosinante, because I don't really want to build Bonnie. I don't want to build Bonnie. I wanted to build Kumo. Kumo is in the art for the alt art. However, that's not really what I wanted. And I think I can, should I just organize these? Yeah, might as well. I'm gonna put the 2K, like everything is just organized now. I've gone and just organized everything, and we're gonna just literally see it all at once. So there's things are organized. See, things are in slightly better position. Like you'll be able to see all the 2K counters, and we'll be going up the chain of Dawn. And yeah, okay. Now we're done. There's the deck. I spent like, what was that, 10 minutes? I spent 10 minutes rambling about Rosinante and like some of his backstory. And yeah, now I can actually like, or I can think now. I can actually think. I love Rosinante. He's one of my favorite characters. I would say he's easily like top 5, top 10. Easily top 10, very likely top 5 characters in my book. Very tragic tale of Rosinante. I'm glad that we got to see his backstory through Law, because I mean, Law's just a cool character, and to see that he had an even cooler adopted father was better. I don't know where Law gets his attitude from, because this dude is so cool. He's so chill. What else can we talk about? Well, maybe I can kind of see where he gets his attitude. Like literally, like Law had a fucked up childhood. I'm not gonna lie. He probably, for not being a Straw Hat, he probably has one of the saddest backstories, I believe, because he watches like I'm not gonna give away a lot of spoilers for Law, but his backstory, a lot of people died in his life, as you can suspect, and Law was gonna die until Rosinante came in and literally saved his life. So very special character in my heart. Okay, now that we've done this, we can actually look at the leader and start critiquing him. So there's Rosinante, the man I've been talking about for like the last 10 minutes, rambling on for so long. The leader itself is okay. I think it's actually a lot stronger than it leds on to be. However, very much the theme, the character is very much trying to kill itself. Well, it's not trying to kill itself, but it is using its life to protect you or your characters. So let's read it. So first thing you'll notice is that this character has blocker. Blocker is not, actually I think this is the only leader with blocker, which is strange because people didn't really know how the rules were going to work with blocker. And I think I'm okay with it, because obviously when you have something with blocker, you tap the character, or in this case the leader, and you can redirect attack, like an attack going to a character back to this character, back to your leader. And the idea is that, you know, if you're redirecting to your leader, now you're going to be taking one of your life cards unless you counter out of the attack. That is such a technical ability. Like just having blocker alone is an extremely technical ability, because then you're having to determine whether you want to take a life, whether you want to counter out, or whether you want to save a character on field. Like now, you know, all these other things have opened up, because, you know, whenever you block, you have to take a life or discard cards. So sometimes it's advantageous to protect a specific piece. Sometimes it's not advantageous to protect a piece. So, and you also only have 4 life. So you don't even have an extra life to play with. You're at 4 life. If you're gonna get hit, you better make sure it's worth it. And then his second ability, end of turn. So we'll go back to here. End of turn, if you have 6 or less cards in hand, you set this leader as active. So that's probably one of the best abilities I've seen in a while. There are a couple of other ones like this. There are a couple of other leaders that can restand themselves. However, he kind of does it for free, as long as you keep a relatively small hand size. You know, being at 5 is okay. I think being at, you know, when you want to be around like 6 or 5 with this leader, you're just outside of reach of certain like card draw hate stuff. So you're avoiding puttings, you're avoiding laws, and you're still keeping enough cards in hand to counter out of things. And then of course, always being able to restand your leader that has blocker is pretty cool. I don't think it's a bad ability. And I'm going to show you the rest of the list. However, we are going to quickly look at the Dawn that I have here. So as a pretext, as most Rosinante players, if you've seen a Rosinante player, chances are they have the I love you Dawn, which I don't blame them. I wanted those I love you Dawns. I wanted them so bad. I'm so mad I couldn't buy them, because they're $7 a pop now. And I don't think any Dawn is worth $7, let alone, I think if you're going to pay for a special Dawn, you should pay at most $5. I don't think Dawns should be more than like $5. And the fact that there are some Dawns out there that cost several thousand per Dawn is insanity. People are insane paying more than like $5 for a Dawn. I do have proxies for the Dawns, and these are them. So, and I also like these a little bit more. If you ever look back on me, okay, let me read it from this side. But I'll show you and then I'll read it because I can't read it from the camera. So there it is. The artist over here. And then let me read it. If you ever look back on your memories of me, I want you to remember my smile. It's very heartwarming. It's on par with the I love you scene. This scene is very close to it. It's man. I'll give you a little bit of backstory about the proxy because they're all the same Dawn. So it's 10 of the same Dawn. Unfortunately, well, fortunately, the artist does sell these Dawns as a thing you can buy. And in fact, let me make sure I find them because I would like to give them a shout out, but I might not be able to find them. I found them on Twitter. I don't know if I'm going to 100% be able to find them as quickly as I'd like to. But no, okay. I'm not going to be spending like half an hour looking for their tweet. They do sell these Dawns on their Patreons, on their, no, it's Ko-fi. Is it Ko-fi? I think they find it, they sell these on Ko-fi or Ko-fi. I forget that. I don't know how to pronounce the website's name. The issue is though, is they only sell one of these Dawns in a pack of 9. So you have to buy, and each pack is, I believe, $10 to $15. So buying 10 packs for one Dawn in the entire set was, for me, it was unreasonable. So I decided to buy the alt art because this artist has also made an alt art for Rosinante. So I did buy the alt art of the Rosinante, and it's also coming from Brazil. So it's going to take at least a month to 2 months to get here. So I decided just to make the video now. And I had to get, I wanted all 10 Dawn as this leader. Unfortunately, the artist doesn't sell, 10 copies on their site. So I had to go and proxy the rest of them, but I'm still very happy with them. They're still very cool. And I'm more than happy to show them off, pimp them out. I need to find the actual username, but there's his signature in case. Yeah. Let me see if I can find him with that. If I can find him like that, then life will be a lot easier. MS. Yeah, Mims. There we go, Mims. Mims over on Twitter. Mims Kosara. There you go. Brazilian illustrator. He makes a lot of One Piece related content. Well, a lot of One Piece art that he sells on his Ko-fi. And if you're interested, I'll go ahead and link it in the chat. You shop. Because I feel like the very least I can do is have this be available for people to some extent. I know not everyone's watching live, so that's fine. There you go. There's the artist. That's his website. That's the website to his coffee if you're interested. Michael Mims. Very cool guy. Unfortunately, the Dawns I wanted to buy, he didn't sell a pack of 10 of single art. He does sell leaders though. If you want an alt art leader that looks very cool, very nice, I'd recommend checking out his stuff. He's made a lot of popular leaders. And despite them coming from Brazil, I still recommend them. Because it's at minimum, it'll take a month to get here. At most, it'll take 2 months. If they don't show up, obviously you can contact them and let him know what's going on. And he'll work with you, I'm sure. I just ordered some stuff like a while ago, so I'm still waiting for my stuff to show up. But yeah, I'm very happy with the art. I wish he'd sold like a 10 pack of one Dawn instead of the booster pack that he sells. So, okay, enough of that stuff. We're done talking about Dawns. And now we're gonna go into the actual deck itself. There's no easy way to do this. So I'm just gonna, I got the whole deck right here, the big mama right here, and we'll start looking at them one at a time. I'll start pulling them off screen. Just make sure that's still somewhat in view in case people want to come in and see what I'm doing. So very interesting about this deck is this is a primarily a Navy build. So this is going to be mostly Navy travel. There's about 35 Navy cards, I believe, in this deck. And so because of that, I decided to run Tashigi, who is probably the one of the newer searchers. I believe it came out in OPL 6. Yeah. One cost 2k, 1k counter. Good, really good. I mean, basic stats for a searcher, which you love. On play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Navy card other than Shishigi, add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of your deck. Your run-of-the-mill, very average searcher. It's not the best, but it does the job. And in a pinch, you can make it big enough to hit something. But it's mostly for searching Navy cards, which surprisingly, there's a lot of good Navy cards. There's a lot of amazing Navy cards in blue. And there's also like a handful, like a smidgen in green. So we'll go into the next one. Probably something you expected to see in this deck as well. Something you see in all these Rosinante decks is you're going to see Rosinante the blocker. The 2 cost 1k blocker, 1k counter. It isn't the best stats for a character with blocker, because this can be dealt with very easily by most characters. And most removal can hit something like this very quickly. However, its opponent's turn ability is worth keeping it into the deck. It's worth keeping at 4. And I'll read it right now. So it is opponent's turn. If your rested character would be KO'd, you may trash this character instead. Very on theme with the character. If there's a character, if someone is trying to KO your character, you can in response sacrifice this and protect that character for the turn or for the battle. They can technically go in and try to attack it again, but hopefully they don't. Hold on. Already starting to get a dry throat. Yeah, so with Sakazuki moving out of the meta, we're actually moving away from bottom decking stuff, which for me is great because this card becomes exponentially better in a meta that only KOs. So being able to like essentially counter one of your opponent's KO removal spells is pretty big, because if you have something like something big, like what's the best thing, like Kid. If you have an 8-cost Kid and your opponent is working their ass off to get it off the field with KO abilities, this will just like protect it for one of those effects. Like this will just be a good hard counter to one of the removal spells, because most things are trying to KO things now instead of bottom decking things or bouncing things back to your hand, which is great. It's great for this card. So this is Rosinante is going to become a very meta relevant card in the near future, I think. Once Sakazuki gets off the field and we don't have to worry about our stuff getting bottom deck constantly. That's the dream. So as you saw with my when we did the pack opening, I did a little teaser for sugars. Sugar, please. There you go. Ta-da. There we go. I got my sugars in. I got the rest of my sugars in, thankfully. Let's see if I can get it to look at sugar for a second, please. Hello. There we go. How you doing, sugar? We might not be able to get a better look at sugar, but yeah, I have 3 sugars. These just came in the mail, so I was very happy that the other 2 showed up. And sugar is still a bit of a menace in the format. It's a little easier to deal with now because, again, sugar is 2 costs, 0k power. Really easy numbers to deal with for most decks that are trying to remove things. However, like I said, we're moving into a KO meta instead of a bottom deck meta. So something like Rosinante or this Rosinante can very easily defend this, a lot easier than they used to in the past. So I'll go ahead and read the card. If you don't know what the card does, I'll read it right now. So opponent's turn, once per turn, when your opponent plays a character, if your leader is a Don Quixote pirate type, rest up to one of your opponent's characters, then rest this character. So, of course, Rosinante is a Don Quixote pirate. He's also a Navy character. So double value, 2 very relevant types and very good colors. These are okay colors. I think blue is very good for Navy. Green is okay for Don Quixote stuff. Don Quixote pirates don't have very much support. They haven't had support in a while. But they have very strong cards from the set 4, I believe. So that's why I'm running at least 3. I don't have any searches. I don't have any baby 5s. I don't think I need to run baby 5s. We'll see. I'll be honest with you. I really haven't playtest this version of the deck very much. So we might boot up the simulator later and give it a shot, give it a few rounds, but no guarantees. So 3 sugars. Amazing card to have. here's where things get a little more spicy, a little more interesting, a little throwback to back in the day when Sentimaru, back in the day when Sentimaru was a powerhouse. We're coming back to these days. So this is the promo pack, Sentimaru. Pretty cool. It's okay art. It's just a variant. I don't know if I like this version of the art or if I like the other version where it's a close-up profile picture of him. But regardless, like 3 costs, 4K, it's okay. 1K counter, useful. However, normally you want to play this if you can, because you attach 1 Dawn, activate main once per turn. So you attach 1 Dawn, you pay 2, you tap 2 Dawn, and then the effect is play up to 1 Pacifista with the cost of 4 or less from your deck, then shuffle your library. So this is a hardcore tutor for Pacifistas. Unfortunately, we're not getting any more Pacifista support. We're switching over to the, what is it, Seraphims. I believe we're switching to Seraphims in yellow, and they don't have the Pacifista subtype. So this card immediately falls way below everyone's radar, which is unfortunate. Because it would have been nice if the Seraphims had Pacifista typing, because then this would be a powerhouse. However, being able to tutor cards out of your deck for free, well, not for free, but being able to tutor cards out of your deck onto play is a very relevant ability. And I still like this. I think it's still great. It's still Navy. It's a Navy card, so it's searchable with our searcher. So I like it. And then our next one, we're going to be looking at a 2K counter. And it's Garp. As you would suspect, when you're in Navy and you have a Navy searcher, you want to add Garp to your search because he has 3 cost, 3K, meh, 2K counter, relevant. And on play, draw 2 cards and place 2 cards from your hand to the bottom of your deck in any order. I think arguably it's tough to justify, but I would say that Garp is a tiny bit better than what's her name? Kaya. There you go, Kaya. Kaya is 1 Dawn. However, Kaya doesn't have any power. Kaya is extremely hard to defend. And Kaya is trashing 2 of your cards instead of bottom decking 2 of your cards. So for something that if you're not in black, trashing cards is not the most ideal thing to do. You mostly want to be like at least trying to save them by putting them underneath your deck, that maybe at some point in the near future you can bring them back out, you can use them again. However, for now, I think this is arguably better. If you're not in black, this will be the better 2K counter. And then our next one is going to be Mihawk, as you would suspect. Mihawk is incredibly strong. Is an incredibly strong 2K counter. One of the stronger 2K counters in green. Unfortunately, it doesn't synergize super well with the deck. It kind of does. It sort of does, but it's not searchable in any sort of the way. In the future, I might end up switching out Navy for Warlord, for the Warlord system, or for the Warlord tribe. And then this will become searchable. However, that's not here or there. I'm not 100% convinced because I really like the Navy package. So I don't know if I'm going to be switching it to Warlords. But we'll see. Maybe in the future, I might. So anyways, this is a 3 cost, 4K, 2K counter. So good stats, good enough stats. Makes it a lot easier to swing in with. On play, if you have 2 or less cards in play, play up to 1 Mogi Kingdom and or / attribute character with a cost of 4 or less other than Dracula Mihawk from your hand rested. So this, hang on. This becomes pretty good. If you choose to play this, you can very easily grab like a Sentimaru. If you didn't know, Sentimaru is a / attribute. Yep. So if it will ever show us /, there you go. So if you didn't know, Sentimaru is a /. So if you end up playing Mihawk on the field, you can play a Sentimaru from your hand and your opponent will never see it coming, or they might suspect it, but they also don't really. It's a really good play. It's a very good early game play. However, normally with most of your 2K counters, you want to just hang on to them. They're your silver bullets. They're the things that are going to protect you, especially in this deck. In this deck, I'm not playing any counter events, which I had a couple of counter events. However, I had to cut them because there just wasn't room. And that's the part of the deck I haven't tested out. I cut counters out of my deck, and I don't know if it's a good idea. So we're going to find out if it was a smart idea or not. And then our last 2K counter is going to be Gion. Gion is sort of like is an all-star, I think. Gion is a 2K counter people should definitely be playing more of. If you're in blue, it's a very good counter to Nami. And it's also like good stats, 4 costs for 5K. That is probably the best stats we've seen for a 2K counter in a while. And then of course 2K counter. And then it's on your turn once per turn. When your opponent activates an event, your opponent must place 1 card from their hand to the bottom of their deck. That screws a lot of people over. Even if you're not against Nami, forcing your opponent to have to like put cards underneath their deck, they get to choose, but ideally they don't want to, because the cards in their hand are usually good. So they're going to be putting good stuff underneath their deck, or 2K counters underneath their deck. And both situations are not good for them. So even if you want to just play this out, you can. However, again, 2K counter, you should definitely hang on to. Our next one, probably something something you're going to start seeing more of, and it's a pudding, Charlie Pudding. And I'm only writing 2 because I just don't have room for a third. I want to run the third one. I'm struggling, guys. It's so hard. It's so hard. This deck is at its capacity. I cannot find a decent replacement to add in a third copy of Pudding. So I'm running Pudding at 2. She's definitely just your silver bullet against Red Purple Law, or against Enel or Charlotte Katakuri. It definitely keeps other decks in check. Even if you manage to show your opponent this card, it's usually enough to keep them in check. So normally you never have to play a Pudding. If we can see Pudding, that would be great. Come on. There you go. Look, a new face. Look at the new face. I'm sorry that she has 3 eyes. I think the camera knows. If you got 3 eyes, you're not a person. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and read the card. 4 cost, 4K. It's a 1K counter. On play, your opponent returns all cards to their deck. Okay, your opponent returns all cards in their hands to their deck and shuffles their deck. Then your opponent draws 5 cards. Again, not a super, doesn't read very strong, but it plays very, very, very strong. Forcing your opponent to reshuffle like 5, well, forcing your opponent to reshuffle a minimum of 6 to a maximum of like 12 back to their deck, and then forcing them to draw 5 random cards. A lot of times from what I've played, they'll usually draw 5 okay cards. But if they have like 7 to 12 cards in hand, this is always devastating to them. They hate, people hate this card. And I'm fine with that. The game's hard. The game's already hard enough. We need things to survive with. We need to play things that help us survive. And then, as you would suspect, if you have Centaurus, you have Pacifistas. These are just a given. 4 cost 6K, 1K counter, vanilla body. I ordered the first anniversary versions of Pacifistas. So those are coming in the mail probably in a week or so. Because again, nobody's playing these things, so they are dirt cheap. They are like $3 to $4 online to buy the anniversary version of Pacifistas. So I was very happy. I'm cool with that. So it's amazing that you can tutor these out of your deck if you don't have them in hand. Even just playing one is okay, because you can usually hit over leaders pretty easily, and you can take care of most blockers. Not all of them, but most of them. And then we're gonna start going into another subtype in the deck. Of course, if you see Rosinante, you can probably tell once I show you the card. It is X-Drake. It's a 5 cost 6K green card. If that doesn't give it away, you'll see in a few cards why this is important in the deck. So we have X-Drake, 1K counter, and it's a lot of types, but the thing that it's a Navy character. So this is searchable with our what's her name? Tashigi. Took me a second. So what does he do? On play, KO up to one of your opponent's rested characters with a cost of 4 or less. That's very good, because we currently are in a meta where 4 cost characters are very prevalent. and being able to KO them out of the field is good. You don't want to hit a Kiku with this, but you do want to hit like a Kid and Killer. You want to hit like a, what's his name? Oh gosh. Mr. 2. You want to hit a Mr. 2 with this. There's a lot of cards that you are more than happy to KO if they are rested. If they're slacking, you can catch them off guard with this. And then, of course, it would not be a Rosinante deck without our all-star, our baby boy, our Trafalgar. It's Law. Come on. Trafalgar Law. There you go. You got it. We got there at the end. We survived. So here is Law, the 5-cost 6k blocker Law. All the way back from set 1. Set freaking 1, man. These things are stupid expensive. I was so upset having to pay this. And you know what? I'm going to show this real quick. Where is it? Where is it? Which one is it? Which one is it? One of these. One of these. Two of these actually are not like the others. There we go. I believe it's... Is it these two? Let me read. Oh, okay, yeah, it is this one. So, if you didn't know, in the first release, when One Piece was released and the first set came out, there were a lot of printing errors. There were some text issues, and these two laws in specifically had printing errors. Not printing errors, but like they needed to get text updated. And because of that, it was a little extra money that I could not avoid paying, because they only had 4 laws at the LGS, and 2 of them were the error cards. And I'm like, fuck me. Thankfully, it wasn't that much more money, but I will show you right now what they do. So what, and then what? Let me see if I can. So there is the original, and then there is the errata version. On play, the on play ability is where they fixed it. As you can see, they added more text for more like legal things. So I'll read the wrong one. So 5 cost 6k, no counters, kind of sucks. It has blocker. On play, you may return 1 character to your hand. Play 1 character with a cost of 3 or less from your hand. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know where the error, like why they needed to update the rules. I guess there were some like, well, actually characters out there, some people who are like trying to break the rules because the wording wasn't perfect. So let me read the correct one. On play, you may return 1 character, return 1 of your characters to the battle to with the okay. One more time. You may return 1 of your characters to the owner's hand. Play up to 1 character with the cost of 3 or less from your hand. So I guess the idea was, because it didn't say 1 of your characters, people were trying to bounce your opponent's characters to your hand. It's like, yeah, no shit, that doesn't work. They had to clarify it, and that's why this exists, because that rule needed to be clarified. You couldn't just bounce. I assume that's what people were doing. People were trying to bounce the opponent's 1 cost characters back to their hands with this. That's not how it worked. So they had to update the card and do an errata on it. So because of that, this card is like a few extra dollars more. This one's like 13 or 15 bucks. This one's like 18. It's very upsetting. I'm mad. And then of course, I mean, I'm probably not going to get the alt art of that, but I would like to in the future. It's not going to happen because of how much it cost. Hang on. Well, make sure that is there. There we go. And then our 7. So on our 7 Dawn, our 7 cost not character event is the all-star, well, not the man of the hour, but the event of the hour, Gravity Blade Raging Tiger. This is literally like an MVP. This honestly should be in every blue deck. If you have blue, you should be playing this card. No excuse. Seriously, there's no reason not to be playing this card. This is one of those cards that like overperforms. It reads good and it plays even better. So it's a 7 cost event. Activate, well, it's a main ability. Place up to 2 characters with a cost of 6 or less at the bottom of its owner's deck in any order. You are removing 2 of your opponent's 6 cost or less characters. That is like what, like, and you're playing at 7. Whatever your opponent did the turn before is fucked. Easily. It's bottom decked. It's gone. They're not, whatever they did basically didn't happen. It's like, nah. So almost a board wipe, not really a board wipe, but it's the closest thing we have right now to a legitimate board wipe. And then the trigger is place up to one character with a cost of 5 or less to the bottom of its owner's deck. A weaker trigger, but an amazing activate main, like an amazing ability. I decided to replace Borsellino with this, and I have yet to regret it. Borsellino is a good body, but being able to bottom deck 6 costs, 2 6 costs, is amazing. It's awesome. No reason not to play it. I run them at 4. I don't know if I want to drop it to 3. I could potentially drop it to 3, but I think running 4 is very good because it's also Navy searchable. You can search this because it's a Navy card. Amazing. I love it. And then, so the reason why we play so many 5 cost green cards is because we are running the 8 cost Rosinante. So we got the main baddie himself, Rosinante. I did order these a while ago. However, I'm gonna start upgrading them to the alt arts because the alt arts are a little bit cheaper now, a little easier to swallow the pill for. But these are great. I love the art of these. These just look sick. The alt is good. These are a lot better. These honestly look way cooler if you haven't seen them. So this is an 8 cost 8K, no counter character. So opponent's turn, if your character is rested, your active characters with base power with base costs of 5 cannot be KO'd by effects. That's very good. This will protect your 5K bodies. You're active. If they're active, they're protected by this, by KO effects, which we talked about earlier. KO effects are becoming more relevant in the meta right now. So I think this card is going to start. I hope it starts seeing more play. I don't think it will, but it has. There's a precedence for it to see more play now. And then it's on playability. You may rest this character. Play up to 1 green character with a cost of 5 from your hand. So you get to some really. You start doing a little bit of board flooding with this, because then you start playing your Rosinante, or you play your Rosinante, then you play your Law, and then your Law is gonna play I believe it's gonna be able to play Sentamaru. So there's another route to Sentamaru by the end of this, and then I believe. Can it play the let me see. Is it a specific character 3 from your hand? Yeah, you could also play just another blocker. So if you want, you can play a Sugar. You can play Garp if you wanted to. I don't think you want to. And then of course you can play your blocker Rosinante. This card is such an all-star. I think being able to flood the board like that is very important. And a game that is about resource management. And then of course, when this character is out, your other 5 cost characters are protected. So they're not going to get easily removed, which is always nice. And then the last card, the last 2 cards in my deck. Probably something you're not actually expecting, because I don't see this in a lot of decks. It is Zoro. And the only reason why Zoro's in this deck is 1, it's very strong, and 2, this is the Zoro I pulled from the OPL 6 opening. When I opened up packs, this is what I got, and I was very happy to get one. So as you can see, let's see if I can get it to focus. There you go. This was the alt art I actually pulled from the packs. So I was ecstatic to pull this because I knew I needed to build a green deck, and that's where Rosinante came in. So what does it do? What does Zoro do? I think we talked about it in the pack opening, but I'll refresh your mind. 9 costs 9K, no counter. It's completely fine. When attacking once per turn, you can tap 1 Dawn. Set this character as active. So you attack once, then you can pay 1 Dawn to attack again. And then its second ability is activate main once per turn, pay 2. So rest 2 Dawn. Set this character as active. You can attack your opponents 3 times with Zoro, which is very appropriate because he's using 3 sword style. I think this is very on flavor. It's not searchable because it's a straw hat, but who cares? It is the coolest card. It sucks when you have to bottom deck it when you're searching and you bottom deck this by accident. And then I will also show that this is not technically a sanctioned deck because, well, of course, if you're playing with proxies, you can't go to tournaments with this. You have to adjust your deck accordingly to make it legal. In the English version of the meta, you have to make the deck legal, so you need English cards. And the second one I got is a Japanese copy. So this deck is already not legal to play in tournaments. However, this is just a LGS locals deck that I play, and obviously it's not a big deal. No one really cares. Nobody cares. I've yet to meet someone. If the only times it's been an issue is if they don't know what the card does, right? And then of course I have the English copy to refer to if I need to. So that is the deck. My goodness, my voice is already hoarse. What do I feel about this deck? Well, let me shuffle the deck. Now that I spent 10 minutes organizing this, let me go ahead and mess it up. So what do I think about this deck? I haven't had a chance to play a lot of this. Unfortunately, you know, this month has been not the greatest. I haven't had a lot of free time to play some One Piece, unfortunately, so I'm a little rusty. This deck, I don't remember when I made this deck, but I haven't had a chance to. I updated the deck recently. The deck just got updated maybe like a week ago, and I haven't had a chance to play test it in this configuration. I literally just got like the last 4 cards, no, like the last 6 cards today in the mail. So this is the first time the deck is actually like fully completed and ready to be play tested. I will try to upload, or I'll try to play. I'll play around. I'll go to the simulator. I'll boot up a game and just see what happens. No real commitment. I'm hoping that I'm not going to get any like weird comments over in the chat, little chat box. I'm always worried about that. Really, I mean, there's nothing I can do. I can censor it on my end, but however, I can still read it. So I don't really want to be reading like weird comments, but you know, for the sake of the channel, I will at least try to censor it with my little character. So we don't have to worry about that. I can shield your eyes from any naughty language, but we'll see. I mean, obviously if someone is being strange on chat and you can report them, it's not a big deal. What else can we talk about? The meta right now. I think, oh god, the meta right now is, I believe, Red Purple Law. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't played a Red Purple Law. I completely forgot what Red Purple Law does. I think he bottom decks a 4 cost and then he plays a 4 cost from his hand. I think that's what he does. I don't know how to play against that. I think the idea is, I think you want to just control the board, which can be difficult. It's a very difficult thing because you have to just outlast your opponent and control the board. So we'll see how this deck fares against the current meta. Obviously, Sakazuki is still relevant. I believe Sakazuki has been banned in Japan by this point, but we still have, I think, another month or 2 before OP07. Once OP07 comes out, then he is banned. And then so is Reject. Reject is also banned alongside Sakazuki. And I believe those are the only 2 that are getting banned. I don't remember if there was a 3rd card or what else was getting banned. But how do I feel about the bans? I think I've talked about it already. I'm okay with bans. I don't mind them. I'm very on the fence because there are times where I'm like, don't ban any cards, and then there are times where I'm like, this game needs to be regulated. I think it sucks banning a leader. Like, I feel like leaders should, I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to the game designers, right? The card designers, to make a fair and balanced game. And when they make something that is unintentionally broken, it sucks. But you know, you got to keep, I think that's why the game is pretty young, so of course they can't hire any professional players to play test or design cards for them. They have to kind of just trust their team, that their team is able to open their third eye and see all the potential combos and ways to break a card before they print it. Because obviously when you print a card that ends up getting banned, you're losing money. Well, technically you're not losing money because you're selling packs, you're not selling cards. But when there are enough banned cards in a pack, people will not buy that pack, is I think was what I'm trying to get at. Let me see if I can get this to close again. Probably not. Oh, no, there we go. I got it. Hey, let's go. So yeah, there you go. Rosinante. I like him. I like Rosinante a lot. He's one of my favorite characters, as I said in the past. I think the leader is very interesting. I think having blocker on a leader is interesting, but ultimately maybe not the best idea, because actively taking hits is never like super ideal. Okay, I just had war flashbacks of the pack opening stream. So let's see if we can get the game booted up. We'll do a round. We'll do one round. See what the simulator is like right now. We're like in the afternoon, so we're gonna start getting some regular players showing up. Actually, let me go back. Let me make sure the deck is correctly selected. I want to make sure I am on Rosinante. Load it. Yeah, everything here looks correct. Okay, back, and then let me switch back to the gaming, and then I need to turn off my webcam. Goodbye. Whoa. And then let's switch this over. There's the simulator. Ta-da! Wop. Oh man, it's massive. Oh, simulator. You gotta relax. And then I need to I need to move my little guy. Actually, oh, here he is. This little guy has got to sit like somewhere over here. For the I gotta block the chat with my massive brain. Okay. So let's give this a shot and see what happens. There's no guarantees that we'll get wins. I'm not going to promise anything. Again, I haven't played in a while, and I'm not very good to begin with. Let me put some stuff away too. All right, Jimmy, I need you to live like over here for like a minute or two and not be in the way. There you go. All right. Multiplayer. We're gonna play on the Western. We're on Rosinante. We are going to quick join. Let's see what happens. Oh, quick join again. We're just waiting. Hello? Yes. Can we play the game? Wow. There we go. How to get a little more comfortable. Let's go back. Try it again. Western, Rosinante, quick join. Ugh. So as we wait, what can we talk about? I don't know. Oh, there we go. Who are we fighting? Hello, friend? Who is this? Who is this stranger? Oh, the opponent's choosing the turn order. Look at this cool, like, this is cool. I like this. Like, I don't like it, but I like that it's it tells you where everything belongs. Come on, don't be a sweaty player, man. I'm just running little Rosinante. No need to go too sweaty. You can choose. You can go second, buddy. It's fine. I'll go first. Oh, this guy's taking forever. Come on, man. Come on, man. I want to play. Let me play. Bum bum bum. Bum ba dum bum. Is he just waiting for me to leave? I'll leave again. I don't mind. Oh, yay! I won. Yippee! I did it. I won my first match. We might not get a game. It's looking like it's looking like there's not a lot of people playing right now, which is understandable. That's fine. Did I get the same guy again? I don't know. I might have got the same guy again. If he backs out, I think we'll probably end the stream. Let's see if he wants to play it out. Probably not, though. Bum ba bum 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 ba bum bum ba bum boop boop boppity. Come on, please! I just want to play one game. Please, just one game. Oh, wow, we already hit the time limit on the music. YouTube asked me if I was still there. It's like, bro, you good? Oh, come on, dude. Boo. Fine. Oh, that sucks. I actually did want to. I was starting to feel it. We'll give it one last chance. Unlimited. I don't know, man. Let's just see what happens. We'll do it one more time. Third time's the charm, right? Are we gonna run into the same guy again? We might run into the same guy again. But then that's 3 victories. If the guy wants to give me a third victory, I'm more than happy to, right? Let's see. I don't think there's anything wrong with my connection. My frames, like, things on my end look okay. The guy might be having an issue. There might be an issue with my version of the game. I don't know. I'll be real with you. I don't know what's happening. I'd like to play, though. I am also updated. I'm updated to the latest version of the simulator. So I think we're just, I don't know. There might be something on his end that's not working. Or there just might be an issue. I really don't know what the issue is. I would like to play the game, but, you know, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So it's very unfortunate. But I could load it. I mean, do you guys want to just... yeah, let's go. Ugh. Boo. Let's do solo. Hey, look at that! Here's the cards. This is actually okay, but I'll mulligan. This is still okay. I can work with that. Yeah, I mean, I have to keep. And then I will do nothing because I can't do anything for one turn. Oh no, my opponent, what are you up to? What can you do, Crocodile? I mean, does it really matter? Doesn't really matter what we do. Okay, we got 3. This is so dumb. Can I attack? Yes, resolve the attack. Oh, this is so sad. I'm sad. I have to play with myself. Oh man, this sucks. Have you ever hit your lowest of lows? I don't think you've hit the lows like I have hit the lows. Oh, this doesn't matter, whatever. I don't care. I'm so stupid. Okay, well, let's just kind of play the game out, right? I mean, I want to kind of just show what this leader is capable of. I want to activate. I'm going to grab an extra Pastafista. We have 2 Dawns, so we can play a Rosinante. And then we would then attack, end the turn. This is so bad. Oh man, my opponent will never see this one coming. Oh, I'm so sad. Wow. You know what? I'm done with this. It's just so stupid. Oh, this is so sad. Bro, no one wants to play the simulator right now. Alright, well, anyways, guys. Let me move my little character over here. There you go. Whoop. I think that feels about right. Oh, I've never been so humiliated before. Well, you know what, guys? I went undefeated 3 games in a row, back to back. Literally took 2 minutes to beat each opponent 3 times. It was amazing. This deck is so cracked, you guys don't even know. Here's the sauce, guys. Here's the sauce if you are interested in building this leader. I actually have a lot of hope that this is a very well thought out list and that this could potentially do very good at locals, if not could be like top 32, top 8, potentially. I wouldn't know because I haven't had a chance to play it. I'm going to do some local games. I'm going to do some LGSs and some local games here. And I'll test out the game. The games I played with previous versions of Rosinante have actually handled themselves very well. I haven't had an issue. I've managed, out of the games I played with Rosinante, I think out of 5 games, I think I won like 3. So this has a very good win rate, in my opinion. So I'm very happy. I haven't played with this version of Rosinante, keep in mind. I played with a different layout, a different 50. Or, well, yeah, 50. I played with a different 50 card limit. So some of these ratios are a little bit different than what I was originally playing with. But I feel like this version is very strong. I feel like I've squeezed every drop out of this lemon here that is Rosinante. So I like the list. If you like the list, you can test it out. If you can get games on the simulator, I would recommend it because I feel like this could do pretty well. This is a pretty well-known leader. Like a lot of people who play Rosinante, this is not too far off from what they're doing. I would say the only things that are spicy about this list is that you're playing the Navy package. You're playing the Navy and Centaur package. I feel like that's the spice of the deck. And of course you have like your weird cards like the Zorro. I don't think anyone's playing the Zorro, which is fine. You know, people don't have to play a Zorro. I think a lot of Rosinante players have moved away from Rosinante, the 8 cost, in favor of Kid. Kid is honestly just a much better card, but honestly, I'm pretty happy with the performance I've had. I've been able to flood the board very quickly with, you know, Law, and I've been able to establish very strong bodies like this. You know, you usually go up a card. Let's see. I wish, honestly, I wish this Rosinante wasn't color locked, because if this character could pull out any 5 cost character, we're looking at a much better potential. It's very laggy right now. The simulator is not very happy with me loading up these cards. This was one of the cards I had originally in the deck. I still think if you don't like, let's see, I recommend the Mihawks, but if you don't like the Mihawk, you could play the Carrot. Carrot is just another target for Rosinante to play. Resetting one of your Dawn is okay. It's not the strongest ability, so I do recommend maybe just keeping the Mihawk, because ultimately I feel like Carrot, while Carrot is good, Carrot is still just like a 2k counter, and so is Mihawk. At least Mihawk can potentially play something else out in the field. What else? I've seen someone play with, where is he? Luffy. I've seen people do like a film engine, a small film engine in this deck. And I think that there's some merit there. I think it could be a little bit better than the 8 cost Rosinante. However, I haven't built film. Even the Searcher is a little bit better. I feel like this is a very strong Searcher, because even though it's not a 1 cost, it's a 3 cost with 5k. Like, this is an attacker that can search things. Very strong. I have Yamatos. I don't know if I want to run them in this deck, because I would probably replace, actually I don't even know what I would replace, because I like having this being searchable. I like that this can play other bodies, so I don't even know if I could play Yamato. Yamato is very strong, but Yamato is also a lightning rod for removal, so you have to be very careful when you play a Yamato, and just accept the fact that it's probably not going to survive. What else can we do? I mean, the The Don Quixote pirate package is very promising. I'm not a big fan of Diamante. I am a big fan of Doflamingo, the 10 cost Doflamingo. I think we're gonna see a resurgence in this. I think it can perform well. I don't know yet though, because we don't have the Sakazuki ban yet. So I don't know if this has a chance in the new meta we're gonna get. Obviously Baby 5. Baby 5 is not only a great searcher, but is also a great 2K counter. Of course, Rosinante, my boy. Actually, the first iteration of this deck was actually a Fishman deck. If you were curious to hear, because now, okay, since we don't have games, I'm going to talk about some of the cards I was playing with. I was building around Vanderdyke. I hate Vanderdyke. He's such a perv. He's like a literal pedophile or just a psycho. This dude is a psycho, but his ability is extremely strong because he is able to KO any rested character. If you can meet his conditions, he can KO anything that's rested. And I feel like that is a very underrated ability that we haven't seen fully utilized yet, at least. And then of course you would have like things like Hody Jones in the deck. And then you would have Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark is also a very great card. This is the next card I'm looking to add. This is Bonnie. Up to one of your opponent's characters or rested or Dom become rested or do not become active during the next refresh phase. So this is very similar to the Boa Hancock that we're gonna get in OPO 7, I believe. Yeah. So there is potential for this. I don't know if I can add it in because I would have to cut like X-Drake or something, or I would have to cut Law from the deck, or even just cut like a Sugar, or I mean, probably the correct answer is cutting the Sentomaru package out of this and then adding in Julie Bonnie and some other cards. I believe like, no, I can't add this because this is Supernova locked. Oh, Fisher Tiger. We're looking at future cards. Let's see. Anything else that we can potentially talk about? I was thinking about this actually. If you were interested, Off-White works with Rosinante. It's Don Quixote Pirates relevant. Give up to one of your leaders or characters 4K power during this battle. Then look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Reveal one Don Quixote Pirate type character and add it to your hand. Then rest. Then return the remaining to the bottom of its owner's deck. So I don't like that it's a 2-cost event. However, it's okay for 2 costs. It can be difficult, and it like it kind of choreographs what you're gonna do with your 2 active Dawn that you're gonna play this and search. I think I might add this to the deck. I don't know what I want to cut for this, but I think I could play this in the deck and still be fine. So it's something worth thinking about. I have Punk Gibson's. It was one of the original cards in the deck. You can be my samurai. I don't think it works with this leader, but it is a good card. What else? I'm 0-cost events. I think 0-cost events are always good. I just don't have any. Maybe in the future. Could potentially be better. Could be better than the Off-White. But Off-White is very strong. Off-White is a searcher. On top of being a 4K counter. I've thought about this one. I'm probably not. Here's Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark is very strong. I think Noah's Ark. I was building the deck originally around Noah's Ark, and it did okay. But ultimately, the Fishman package doesn't really work very well. Ultimately, doesn't work very well for Rosinante. It's better for like Hody Jones or like Arlong. Some blue cards. Oh man, I'm so excited for the Warlord package to come out because there's so many good Warlord cards that are coming out soon. Let's see. I have to get my hands on the Gecko Morias, the ones that recur cards from the graveyard. Very well. I thought about adding this, but I don't think I will. Let's see. Now we're just looking at cards. I was not able to play, so we're looking at cards now. Here it is. This is I'm very excited for this Boa Hancock to come out. Play up to one of your opponent's characters. Okay, up to one of your opponent's characters other than Luffy cannot attack until the end of their next turn. Then place up to 1 cost or less character to the bottom of its owner's deck. Free value. Absolutely free value. No reason not to play it. Oh my god. Now we're looking at spoilers. Oh no. Is this the 2K? No, that's not the 2K counter. There's Centimar. This is the Gecko Moria I'm gonna be buying pretty soon. I'm very excited for this Gecko Moria and for the Warlord package that's coming out very soon. All right, now we're getting to the events. Yeah, we're at the end. All right, guys. Oh, speaking of which, dude, did you know these are like $11? Holy shit. Here's a PSA. If you have white snakes, you can sell them for 11 bucks a pop. I don't know why people are playing this, but people love this card. I think it's okay. It's a good card. I think it's mostly for Nami though. This has like Nami vibes because it lets you draw a card. It counters for 1K. It's decent, but I don't know. This is like an $11. I thought this was like a $1 card. And then because I was going to buy a playset. I was going to buy like 3 of them. And then I looked at the price and they're like 11 bucks. I'm like, what's going on here? What are people doing? Crazy people. Absolute psychos pricing these cards. But yeah, there's the list. Very sad that we couldn't get a game. You know, that's just the that's just how the dice rolls sometimes, you know. You can't always, you know, things can't always work out the way you plan. It's okay because I mean, I wasn't like I was a little hesitant to play Rosinante because I haven't tested the deck out yet. I haven't tested this version of the deck out yet. But, you know, it sucks even more that when you're prepping yourself to play and then nobody wants to play. So I'm gonna play some local games and I'll make adjustments accordingly. If obviously the leader is gonna be better than BV. So I don't think testing is gonna go horribly wrong like it has for VV in the past. So yeah, thank you guys. I think what are the future plans? Future plans are play another game next stream next week. Next week or maybe Sunday? I don't know. Maybe Sunday or on Wednesday, the next Wednesday. Well, I'll come back and play something. I don't know what I want to play. But also I'm going to be taking a break. I think I'm going to be taking that break from editing, which is a little unfortunate because I'm not pushing a lot of videos out. However, I'm currently on a drawing kick. I'm doing a lot of drawings and I'm posting them over on the Honk Factory account. I'm starting to draw different characters. So I'm drawing like Rococo, and then I'm drawing a lot of characters from VNU. I already have a couple of different drawing ideas lined up that I haven't drawn yet that I need to sketch out. But I'm more excited to draw something than I am to edit something. I might edit some shorts, but that's really going to be the end of it for now. For at least a month, I won't be uploading for at least a month. Or if I'm going to be uploading, they're going to be shorts. I'm going to be uploading shorts, if anything, for a while. Because right now I'm kind of on a drawing kick. I want to draw more than I want to edit stuff. So I'm going to just like, I'm going to let the voices win and just draw for a while. And I think the channel is going to be fine. I mean, it really doesn't matter. I don't promote the channel. The channel doesn't really, it's not revenue. It's not making any what is it? It's not making money. The channel's not making money. Numbers are relatively small. I don't do a good job advertising. I want to focus mostly on streaming and I want to focus on drawing right now. I want to just draw stuff. And my drawings are not like elaborate or spectacular. They're not amazing pieces of artwork. They're literally just memes that I like drawing with little funny VTubers over them. That's literally my drawing. That's all I do is I draw memes. I draw memes of VTubers I like. And that's kind of just how it's been. So I'm going to do that for a little while. I'm just going to draw until I don't feel like drawing anymore. And then I'll come back to editing. And then I'll start uploading a little more regularly. I think we're just going to keep the once every other week, like 2 videos every other week schedule going. Cause that's a good rhythm. That's something I can keep up with. And it's something that keeps the channel at least somewhat active. You know, there's still a pulse there. But yeah, what else? Next game, next week, what game are we going to play? I don't know. I might play Super Auto Pets. It's going to finally happen. I'm going to play Super Auto Pets. Unless like somebody reaches out and wants to collab, I think we're going to play Super Auto Pets next week. I don't know yet, but that seems to be very likely. I haven't reached out for collabs in a while. Oh man, I just haven't been, I haven't been ready for collabs. I've stepped away from collabs for a little bit because, you know, I'm not, the headspace isn't, I'm not really there for headspace. I'm not there with the headspace. I'm I'm not feeling too hot. I'm not feeling like I'm ready to collab with people. I kind of want to just do my own thing. I want to do a little bit of solo play, but I am open to collabs. If somebody wants to reach out and play with me, they're more welcome. They're more than welcome to, like, you know, I'll play something with someone. I'm not the one who's gonna instigate. I'm not the one who's gonna reach out. I'm not exactly in the best headspace for reaching out and collabing with someone. If someone wants to reach out, I'll be more than happy to play. But that's just kind of how things are right now. And yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap things up. Thank you guys for dropping by. If you're watching live or if you're watching the VOD, I hope you enjoyed the deck. I hope you play the deck. And if you do, let me know how you did. Because I'm not the best player. I think the deck is a very solid build. And I would love to see someone who's a lot more competent at the game play it than me. And I think it has potential. I think there's something there. But you know, of course, I won't know. You know, hopefully you find out. And yeah, I'll go ahead and leave you here, guys. I'll catch you all next week. So goodbye. Bye. Goodbye. Whoa.